New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Fico's Family Bowladrome in Franklin, Massachusetts. Visit ficosbowl.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors. Good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.
From Fico's Bowladrome in Franklin, Massachusetts, it's New England Candlepins Spring Tournament 2015. In our second Sweet 16 show, Franklin local Andrew Wasnewsky takes on precision lane striker Justin Scali. Then, in Game 2, NECP veteran Dan Legge rolls against Rob the Airstrike Linehan. Now let's roll with your host, Jay Horrigan.
Welcome to New England Candlepins. This is our second Sweet 16 show, and we're with our first two bowlers of today's show, Andrew Wasnewsky and Justin Scali. Justin, welcome back to our show. We haven't seen you in a little while.
Thank you.
How have you been bowling recently?
Not too bad. A little up and down, but been better the last few weeks.
Excellent. You qualified 16th for the show, so you just made it in?
Yeah, I just snuck in there in the qualifying. I got down the last two boxes last week and had to mark out the last two boxes and managed to pull it off.
Oh, excellent. That's some high-pressure stuff, and you were able to do it.
Absolutely.
Have you ever bowled against Andrew before?
Not individually, but I've gone up to him in team competition a couple times.
Well, this will be interesting then. Andrew, you qualified, obviously. You're our #1 seed, and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good to have you back. How have you been bowling recently? Obviously, fairly well if you're a #1 seed.
Fairly consistent. I'm happy with my bowling.
And you normally bowl here out of Fico's. You think that gives you any advantage?
I think a little bit. You know.
Okay, great. So we're going to be back with this match in just a moment. Welcome to New England Candlepins, and I'm Jay Horrigan. We've got a three-man booth this week with Dan, the Gothman Gothier.
2.5 men.
Two and a half men. The half man being Richie, the cultural icon, Myrick. So, today's first match is Andrew Wasnewsky versus Justin Scali. Up first is Justin Scali on lane 16.
Yuck.
Yeah, yuck is right, Dan. Scali starts off with parallel pins on the left side, the 4, 5, 7, and 8. He's got a piece of wood that might help him out, though.
Yeah, at least it stops its spin at a pretty good angle. Could have been worse. I'm sure you wanted to catch it.
Justin bowls out of Academy and Woburn. His high single is a 195. His high triple is a 457. He's got a listed average at 110, but I don't believe that for a second. I know Justin to be a tinge higher than that.
Oh, you were thinking higher.
Well, he is the 16 seed after all. He qualified with a 351. He's taking on the top seed.
I know we tied him. I tied him at 151.
151.
Yeah, 351. Sorry, 351. Yeah. Well, you know, I've been sandbagging.
Tough three shoe. 151.
And Now, the previous matches we've watched today, there've been a lot of splits up there, Rich. This lead that he's got left after 2 balls, we've seen that after many single first balls so far today.
That's for sure.
You have to be sharp on your splits. I'm wondering who's going to be the first person to convert one. We've seen a lot of close calls so far, and I was saying if a good bowler sees a tough leave enough, he's going to make it eventually.
So Justin Scali has 17 through 2 frames. And up next is our number 1 seed, Andrew Wasnewsky.
I bowled with Andrew last night in the Friday League. Crushes a 9. He picks up where he left off last night. He qualified with a 392, so top seed for Andrew. Solid games of 133, 114, and 145.
He's got the 4-pin nice and clean right here.
Yeah. So, seeing single pins, Rich, is all well and good. Every bowler loves them. But seeing it in the first box, it's always a little tricky. You want a plank in the first box to get yourself going. That nice, easy one. And
absolutely. Absolutely. The first one and the last one. That's
on the other hand, if you drill it in the face on the first box, usually bodes well. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say he follows that up with a strike. That was the always ball. Oh, big pin. Big carry on the 7.
Yeah, taking the 7 out makes the shot a lot better.
You're still going to have to be full on the head pin, but, you know, that's the problem. If you're full on the head pin to carry the back one, you wouldn't get the 7. That one would have carried the 7, but not the back one. It's a conundrum.
Conundrum?
Yeah, it's a vocabulary word for the day.
It's good.
You know, this is Saturday morning, so it's when the educational shows are usually on, right? Educational cartoons.
They still make those?
I don't think so. Schoolhouse Rock ones. But that's why I'm here. I won't start singing, though, don't worry. Nice 10.
I wish you would.
Now both bowlers have got those first 2 boxes out of their system. Throwing some good first balls.
So through 2 frames, Andrew Wasnewsky has a 2-pin lead. Justin Scali has an interesting delivery.
I was just thinking that.
Well, that's why I said it.
He's got a very long arm, so the swing goes up there.
Oh, it's just long enough to reach his hand.
There's a pause built in, so
yeah.
I don't know what herky-jerky, but it's not really that jerky. But there's an interesting pause. It's not quite as smooth as.
And he still throws a smooth ball, more or less.
Yeah, it's very
smoother than I do. That's for sure.
He just showed you how to pick up that 1-9.
That's how you do it. A little more about Justin here on his bio. He's listed at 6 feet 11 inches.
Yikes! You gotta watch out. Lower his head when he goes under the monitors up there. Oh man, how many times have we seen the 158 or the 159 already in a few shows? I'm scared to get up there in a couple hours.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, Phil Clough had a couple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, two fills. 2 of those 3 fills in the same game against you. You know, it's like you know as well as anyone, one-string match, it just sucks all the wind out of your sails when you've made a nice mark and you hit the head pin and you get a 2 or a 3. It's like, oh my goodness. And it's hard to get out of them, too, with a 9 or better. We'd be happy with a 7 right here, wouldn't you? 6 box for Justin.
Top 6, and he's at 33 for 4. Wasnewsky with a big opportunity here in the 3rd and 4th box.
Well, he gets a lot of speed on that ball. And it paid off there by taking out the 1-2 late.
Andrew waiting to make sure all that wood is stopped rolling.
Right on the pin.
And picks up the spare.
Oh, we've got a crowd back there.
I estimate the crowd at just under 300.
Yeah. Slightly, like a typical Oakland A's crowd.
Yes.
Tampa Bay, maybe. Devil Rays.
Boom.
That's a buried 9-drop, not a piece of wood to be seen, and he's got the 7-pin. See if he can make it 2 in a row here.
He's loosened up now. I say he's all over it. Yep. It's not the first box. He's good. Cut that right into where the 5 was.
That's 2 big marks there. That puts the pressure square on Scali.
was hoping it had enough speed it was going to take out the 10 for him, but it's not going to. It did stay in front of it, though.
That can't hurt there. The one in front, however, may hurt.
Certainly did in the sense that it was a magnet for his ball. Extra gravity of that pin pulled the ball right to it. Solid out.
Halfway home for Justin. He's sitting at 43. He really needs one now.
Yeah.
One, 3, 6, 8. Wood in front of the 8. You would think that wood in front of the 8 would have helped, but nothing hit it.
Wow, it got right in the way.
Just nothing went that way. Ran the 3 pins down. So anytime you get a back pin, definitely makes a shot more difficult. Nice out.
Nice shot. 2 10 boxes there for Justin.
Now Wasnewsky working on a spare.
Another head pin 4. A lot of head pin 3s and 4 fills today.
He's got the check mark on the right side and the 4-7.
Another object pin only takes out the front one.
Oh, that's a really tough break right there. Two object balls with good pace on them. He's got 5 standing. It's about as good a 7 as you'll see.
Yeah, it's about as much as he was going to get out of that box. Gives him a 16-pin lead, though, so it's still basically a healthy 2-mark lead.
Opposite of 10 box here in the 6th. And he's halfway to Worcester, Dan.
Yep.
Almost converts it. What a ball that was. Great backup ball.
I was talking to Jay earlier. I think that most bowlers trying to convert it would say that you have a better chance if your ball hits it on the hole side. Some guys like to play the other side. The hole side's riskier, but it seems to carry more often than the 5-pin.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a situational thing. I mean, you know, if you're on a strike fill, maybe.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. You play the other side, it can still go there, and you're safer to get a good fill out of it.
Because that hole is very scary.
Oh, yeah.
Justin on the head pin yet again leaves the 4-7-10. A piece of wood in front of the 4-7. That's up pretty high. It might help. Boy, this is going to have to be a really good shot.
Chose to try the left side, but hit the foul button. Ball is just off the alley.
Yep, so those 2 pins won't count.
So explain why Justin called the foul on himself on that shot.
Well, in this situation, he had the piece of wood on the left-hand side in front of the 4-7, and unfortunately his ball was in the gutter, or the channel, before it made contact with that wood. In that situation, any pins that are downed after that contact aren't counted.
Okay. And one thing I would clarify, because I've seen this after working at a bowling alley, a lot of bowlers who are new or who don't bowl a sport all the time, they don't understand that the ball just has to leave contact with the lane to be considered no good. It doesn't have to have fallen all the way down to the bottom of the gutter. And some people throw it really hard, and they think, well, I didn't see it drop yet. Well, if visually, if it was obviously off the lane, then it's no good. Otherwise, you'd be giving an advantage to the guys who throw it hard, right? That ball could sail a couple feet without dropping down.
Right.
That's a good point.
Generally, bowler knows when he did it, right? Most bowlers err on the side of caution. They don't like to take those close shots.
Right. So Justin Scali, through 8 frames, has a total of 69 pins.
And he had a tough break on the last one as well. With the 5,
Absolutely.
7, 10. I mean, that
was a brutal lead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Difference between a 5, 7, and 10 and a strike is not much. It's pretty much the same ball.
Sure.
Oh, Andrew.
It's a nice out.
Yeah.
See, he throws it so hard, the radar detector didn't even detect that he threw 3 balls. And he doesn't even have to hit the halt bite. He could have just let the thing... Oh, there, he figured it out. Let it count it. Now it'll reset. We've automated computerized scoring here at FICO's.
So
But you have to throw it slow enough that the radar detector will realize you threw a ball. Maybe he's onto something there, Rich, and maybe he's figured out a way to get extra bowling strings. He can come down and practice and pay half price if he can continually throw it faster than the machine can detect.
That's true.
There's the goth man thinking.
Yeah, always looking for a way to beat the system.
Yeah.
Stick it to the man.
Stick it
That's
to the
right.
man. Yeah.
Just the kingpin left up.
That's right. He's trying to stick it to the 5-pin here and force 2 marks out of Scali.
He's taking out the king's army. Down goes the king.
It's a big one right there. It's going to force at least 2 marks out of Justin.
You know, the one advantage Justin has is that's how he got on the show. He qualified with, like, I think around 40 in the last 2 boxes, so he's done it, you know, just as recently as getting on the show. And
Oh,
What a ball.
thought he had it.
Stone cold 8-pin.
makes your life easier if it would have fallen. You're halfway there. In the face.
Right
There's
in
one
the
of
face,
them.
yes. Pin match, he's going to need at least 8 on this. That's what he's going to get.
You can't be upset with that. You
Not at
missed
all.
the head
No.
pin, you got an 8 and an easy leave. Yeah, take it. Jump on it.
Oh, he does too. Clutch couple marks from Scali. But again, he's going to need a big fill.
You would think Andrew is still in the driver's seat here, but I've seen stranger things happen. Justin puts a strike on it. Let's say Andrew gets up there and throws a half whister. It's a whole different situation. But you got to have a big fill.
It might turn into one yet, and it does.
Jeez.
Yeah, 2
I'll tell you
favorable
what,
drops.
that changes the entire dynamic of this match. That really forces Andrew to throw, I mean, more than 3,
Well,
4. but
you don't want to put a 2 or a 1 here. You know, that's what you really try. You certainly don't want to do what we've seen a lot of competitors do so far. We've seen it 3 times. You know, the 158 or the 159,
Right.
the spread eagle. That would be the disaster you're trying to avoid.
Sure.
We'll take a 6.
Got through that. Yep,
Yeah.
that was a big ball there. So, the 4 horsemen on the right side.
So that gives him 99.
Yep. There's 9 there, so
The safe pins are adding up, barring a disaster. It's looking like Andrew's
that all
going
is
to.
going to seal it up pretty much.
So he's a 102. He needs
Needs a 4.
4 pins.
Seen some weird stuff though.
I have seen one match once where it was similar to this, and half whister, whole hole. So
Yeah.
proclaim anything until it's over.
That's right.
We want to do it on the first ball, though. Take away any chance of that happening. And he does. Match is over. In the books. Andrew now just be looking to build and get a nice solid 120 out of this if he can convert this split.
He's got the 2-6 here. Nice piece of wood though. That might
Right.
go.
Right. Oh,
And it does. That's a
not the
nice-
way I thought it would go.
No, off the left side wall, right across.
Richie, you were thinking the same as me with the wood behind the 6. Even if he hit full on the other one, as long as he caught the bottom of the wood, we thought it would spin and take the 6 down. But instead, he went off the left wall and back. 8 or better for a 120 game. Most bowlers be happy with that. Right on schedule. 120.
120.
Good call, Shu. Some good bowling right there.
Very good. And Justin made it interesting with the 2 marks in the 9th and the 10th frame. So, but our winner is Andrew Wasnewsky, and he moves on to the Elite 8. And we'll be back to talk to our bowlers in just a moment. Welcome back. We're with our bowlers from our first game of our show today. Justin, you had a tough game there until the 9th and 10th frame, where you pulled out a couple of marks like you did to qualify, and you made Andrew have to do a little work there to pull that out.
Yeah, like classic case of too little, too late. I mean, first good portion of the match, even when I was on my objects, I wasn't really getting anything to show for it. But that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, it just seemed like you were throwing a decent ball, but the pins just weren't falling for you.
Right. That's just how it goes. I mean, in a 3-string qualifier, you get time to make up for it. I mean, that's what happened in the qualifier last week. My first string in the qualifying was light that had a lot of funky, weird stuff, but I was able to make up for it the last 2.
Right. And just today, like you said, when it's 1 string, you get a couple of frames like that and they don't fall for you. You dig yourself a little bit of a hole that's tough to get out of.
Right, exactly. If I had another string to work with, those 2 marks would have been a building block. I could have carried them over to the next one, but not so much.
Absolutely. Well, good effort. And Andrew, you come away with the 120-105 victory. Great job. You really rolled a great ball today.
Yeah, you know, my first box, I had a 9 drop and then missed the single for the spare, and I just had to regroup after that, and I was able to put something together.
Yeah, and then Justin marked in the 9th and 10th, and it made you get up there and do a little work, and then you were able to finish it out with the spare there and made everything look good.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy one. It was the 4-6. I had a little piece of wood that would help me, so I hit the 4 pin, it came off the wall, and it took the 6, and was able to fill it.
Well, nice spare to end that and move you along to our next set of matches. You'll be in the Elite 8, where you'll take on the winner of our next match.
Excellent.
So we will be back to talk to our next 2 bowlers in just a moment. Welcome back. We're with our bowlers for our second match in today's show. First, we'll talk to Dan Legge. Dan, it's been a while since you've been on your show, on our show, or in your show, all our shows.
Show.
Yes, thanks. Welcome back.
It's good to be back. I took a few roll-offs off, and I decided to give it another shot. You know.
How have you been bowling recently?
Good, very good. Good.
Okay. And have you bowled against Rob before?
Not against him. We've been bowling together for 20 years, so I know him, but never against him.
Okay, great. Well, Rob, and how have you been bowling recently?
Pretty good. I mean, I tried a couple of roll-offs before, didn't make it, so made this one. Excellent.
And have you been feel your games coming around?
Yeah, it's coming around. It's going good.
Good. Well, let's get right to it then. We're looking forward to this match between Dan and Rob, and we'll bring it to you in just a moment.
What is community without community support? Without community access? Without communication that creates a common bond? You can make community by making community TV. Contact your public access community TV center. Learn how you can help, because you can. Volunteer today. When you support your community TV, you also support your community.
And we're back, and we're ready for our next match of the day. Dan Legge against Rob Linehan. And up first is Rob on lane 15.
Let's hope he doesn't get robbed.
Oh, wow.
That's a good one, Gothman.
Wow. We were lined up for an Emmy, too. Unbelievable.
I know.
That's an interesting style. I've never seen him bowl before. He charges that line.
He does, and he's lefty.
And the backswing is compact, too.
And short, quick, choppy steps. And he
Great
picks
10,
up
though.
the 10, yeah.
I want to count the steps. I don't know how many, let's see how many he gets in there.
How many steps?
I think 5 is. I used to have a 5-step approach.
Over,
it
under
took
is
me a whole year to
4.5
change the
steps.
darn thing. I'm going to say over.
You taking over?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No,
Ooh,
5.
5 and a
That's
half.
fine.
5 at a jump.
That's not-
And there is the dreaded 159.
It's there again. But this time it's got a piece of wood at least.
Yeah, that helps.
I'll tell you what, though. 5 steps is still not a travel in the NBA. Can we say that? Can we say that?
Look at that. He
just said
touched
that.
every pin.
Oh, boy. I can't. I'm fired.
LeBron will see to it that you're good.
2 good 10s.
Dan Legge coming up now. I got something for this, too. You ready? He's going to try to leg out a victory.
Emmy's gone.
Yep.
And he shot at an Emmy.
Dan qualified with a 362.
You know what that noise is you're hearing right now?
Sound of the viewers turning the channel.
Closing down their browsers and turning off YouTube.
All right. Double wood in front of the left, too, Rich. Where do you like hitting that wood?
Does it matter? No one's
I don't
watching
know.
anymore.
Oh!
It really doesn't matter.
Great try.
I'm shell-shocked with the punnage going on. I would have hit it pretty much where he hit it, though, to answer your question. And there's a 10 box, so our bowlers are at least checking out very well, so there's 3 10 boxes.
Dan throwing a solid ball. I mean, I liked what I saw there.
Excuse me. Can we go back to that?
Legging out a victory?
Yeah.
No, please.
How long
good.
did you work on that?
I'd say I had it stored for about 90 seconds. I was saving it.
Excellent.
Another 2-1 split. I think he's going to be the first bowler to convert this today. Right here. Oh, Karnak.
Oh, this guy. This guy. It almost makes up for that horrible pun you just came up with.
Which may have been the worst ever.
That might have been the worst.
Both bowlers still perfect, I noticed, though. They're leaving no pin standing.
That's right.
No pin left behind.
Rob with a nice ball.
Gothman.
Well, we're going to have some extra time to fill because he throws the ball so quick. He grabs it, sets up, boom, he's off.
I will tell you that when he used that pun, it made you wish for the days of Dave Chester.
No.
No, it didn't. I thought it might.
I heard Dave spent the week in Florida.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I mean, the rumor has it he was driving here to Fico's and he took a wrong turn.
And ended up in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
He's committed. When he starts something, he follows through.
He
Wow,
does.
that's a serious left-hand turn.
Look at this Rich J. This Rich J. Yeah, this leave.
Easy for you to say, Shu. That was
I was wondering where he would play that.
Left. 247. None of the wood was really particularly good.
No, I was wondering if he'd go for that one or the one on the left. I think he made the right choice, but oh, look at that, nice 10.
Oh, nice 10.
Another good 10.
I'm fascinated by his delivery too. It looks like something I wouldn't try to emulate, but it works for him. He's pretty much on the
works
object
very
pin every
well
ball
for
he's
him,
thrown. He really hasn't been off target. Dan though is actually in a groove.
Yeah, I saw him warm up a little bit, and he was really pumping the head pin.
He's been hot lately. Wastes no time, right on it, doesn't even use the wood.
Both these guys just
right in the
moving
face.
Right along.
They are. This is going to be, we're going to play one of those 2-hour baseball games here. We're setting record pace.
Another 9-drop. He's got the 2 pins.
Would, but it won't help unless you're way off, so you'd be right in the face of the spin. No. Oh.
As you said, Shoop.
Yeah, that wood was only going to help him if he was way on the end of it, so you just want to put it out of your mind and go right on the pin. Obviously a little disappointed with himself, but on the other hand, he's got to be happy. He's got 2 19s up there.
I'm going to hurry up and get this in while I can. Rob Linehan is house bowler. He bowls at Ficos. His average is a 112. His high singles a 173. His high triples a 393. He just dropped 6. It's going to be 7. Now it's going to be 8. He's got the 2-7. There's a couple of pieces of wood there, and he qualified with a 360. He's our 9 seed. Back to you, Shu.
Yeah, so the difference between him and his opponent are only 2 pins in their qualifying score, 362 and 360. Virtually the same.
Plays the front wood on that one. Still has 2 pins standing, unfortunately.
Wood hasn't done him any favors in the last couple of boxes he's been up there.
So that'll be a 9. Good pinning, though, 48 through 5. Just 5 on that, leaves the 1-2.
I think that may have been his first ball off the headpin. He gets right back on it the second ball.
Nearly carries the 8, 9, and 10 as well.
Looked like he was going for the 10 there, huh? Trying to cap it.
Yep, just 8 though as a result. That leaves the door open here for Legge.
What are you thinking? You can't say Legge without smiling. See, it's one of those names. Oh, another 9 drop for Dan.
I'd be smiling too if I dropped nothing but 9.
That's true. Huh? Looking to increase his make percentage to 750. No, settle for 500. You know, you can smile and laugh about it though when you've got over a 20 pin, or at this point a 19 pin lead. Although I'm sure you'd like it to be over 20. Finally off the headpin.
This is a tough one here. He's got the 1, 2, 9, and 10. No wood that'll help.
Oh. As is always the case, tough to carry both the 9 and the 10.
Yes.
Need to catch a break in there somewhere.
Important pin there, 21.
Gives him a 21 pin lead. Yeah.
Makes it a 3-mark game. That's important there, that extra pin.
Makes it all the more important. Rob wants to put up at least 1 mark in these 2 boxes with only 4 to go. And he gets a break. This is very makeable. Especially for a lefty. I mean, it'll help carry the back pin if he puts it in the pocket. I'm getting tired just watching these guys at the pace they're setting.
I know.
I need to call a timeout. You give me 1 time every game, right? Get a little oxygen back here.
And they said they've been bowling against each other for 20 years. They must have been 1 when they started.
They're on the team that's out the door while everybody else is still bowling.
Right,
you know?
right.
Oh, I thought we were going to have the 1, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Almost did.
Crazy leave that you see once in a while.
The 8 fell, and now it's just a monster of a shot.
It's the old jack pin shot, the jackpot shot, high-low jack, plus the 9 for good measure. Because the high-low jack isn't difficult enough. Takes the high. Ouch. That was just ugly. Didn't give him much of a chance.
So Rob has 72 through 8 frames, and Dan has 77 through 6 frames.
Dan catches a little break with that 5-pin. Looked like it was going to slide over for a second. It fell at the last minute. Now it's laying in front of the 10-pin. Can't convert the spare. Nine in the box, and that'll maintain a 21-pin lead. And he's opposite of 7 here, so this is a really big opportunity to close out the match. Half whistle left, though. It's never easy, is it?
Well, I still like his position. If I'm in this position during my match, I'm happy. Get 2-3 pins out of this. 7's normally not good, but he's against the 7. He's over 20-pin lead, 21 pins.
So going into the last 2 frames, Dan Legge has a 21-pin lead over Rob Linehan.
Similar to the situation you were in against Scali, what you got a guard against is your guy throwing 40 against you in the last 2 boxes, and making you throw 2 10s, which is what he's trying to do. Rob wants to pick this up. Yeah,
he's right on that one.
So he did half the battle. Now, you're going to come up here and put a strike. I mean, a 9 is okay too, but in this situation, he really does want the strike. And then at least a spare.
That's a good ball for it. Oh. Wow, absolutely buries the 1-3, leaves the 7 and the 8.
And I don't like that second piece of wood that came in there. Should still go, but not as sure of a thing as it was. There you go. That second piece messed it all up.
You're right. And he thought it was going to go.
I think it would have without that middle piece in there. That middle piece messed the whole thing up. Vinatieri kicks the extra point.
And a tough 98 for Rob Linehan.
Yeah. He bowled a little better than a 98. He had a lot of good first balls in that string. And that's what happens sometimes in this game. It's like fishing. It's why people like fishing. Same reason they like candlepin bowling. If you can't catch a fish every time, it wouldn't be fun. You know? Wow, what a shot.
Wow. Terrific shot by Dan. That's the 3-4-6. 8-10?
And I think that was the 3-pin that ultimately came back and took the 4, but I'd have to see a replay to be sure.
And he leaves an equally freaky one. He's got the 4 horsemen left and the 6-9. Let's see if he makes this one just for fun.
Yeah, you got to throw 2 balls. You might as well make it.
Well, at any rate, it's going to be a victory.
Early lead, made it stand up. Legged out a victory.
It's not funny.
It's just wrong, is what it is. It's wrong. Despite
you folks at home, you tell us what you think.
Despite the Gothman's efforts to ruin today's show, Dan Legge comes away with the victory. 115-98 over Rob Linehan, and we'll be back to talk to our bowlers and not Dan Gothier after this. We're back here on New England Candlepins. Rob, you had some tough breaks. Just the pins weren't falling. You rolled some good balls there. Just the pins weren't going your way.
I had some bad breaks, missed opportunity, and my ball was everywhere.
And Dan was on fire.
Yep, as usual.
Yeah, it was tough, but you gave it a great effort, and it just didn't seem to work.
Not my day, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to. When you watch this show, I would turn the volume down because you don't want to hear some of the puns that Dan Gothier said. So I would avoid that at all costs. And Dan, you certainly don't want to hear the puns that he used because he used your last name on half of them. Frankly, it's embarrassing that any of us were a part of it.
Oh, I've heard it. I've heard plenty, so I'm not too worried. But I want to hear it. So.
Well, you're one of the few. Great job. You were on fire there. You took advantage of a couple of breaks that Rob gave you, but you were also bowling very well yourself.
Yeah, I started off really strong, and then I started getting a little while at the end, but had a good start, and that helped me win.
Absolutely. You picked up that spare in the ninth frame. You picked that spare up.
Oh, yes.
You brought the pin off the wall. I thought that was a great spare.
Yeah, I went for the outside because that's how I know it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well done. You're going to actually, now you will, in the Elite Eight, you'll take on Andrew Wasnewsky for a chance to advance to the Final Four. So, great effort there by both of you. Great job. So, that'll end this show. We'll be back next week with a whole new show. And as I said, Dan will advance to the Elite Eight to take on Andrew Wasnewsky, who won earlier in today's show. So for Matt Ferrara, for Dan, the Goth Man Gothier, Bad Pun Master, no shoe. He has no shoe because he can't make a pun. And for Richie, social, cultural icon Myrick, I'm Jay Horrigan. We'll see you next time on New England Candlepins.
New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Fico's Family Bowl-O-Drome in Franklin, Massachusetts. Visit ficosbowl.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors. Good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.